inside his own 10. Let's see what he gets. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down to the 26. The Cornhuskers offense will have the ball first. And are we ever lucky to see these two great quarterbacks in action here today? And Jesse, it won't be long before we'll see them squaring off on Sunday.
Yeah, these guys can both stress a defense for similar reasons, and we've seen it all year long, right? Both guys have tremendous arm talent, and both guys can hurt you running the football as well. So these defenses are really going to have to be careful with how they try and defend these two quarterbacks, David. This one could come down to which guy has the ball last.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. A big showdown. They know what's on the line. Man, these are two huge names, you know, brand versus brand, big-time baller versus big-time baller, trying to come over the top. Yeah, defenses, I feel bad for them. That's not what this is about. This is about the QBs.
Third down conversion's always a huge stat, and they've got a 3rd and long from the 27. From the gun, wants to pass. Makes the grab. Love to see these 3rd down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line. And the Huskers have it with a 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Finds a man on the right. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the 1st down. The Cornhuskers are on the move. To the air on 1st down. Gets it out fast. Turning it on. Put it right on him. Sweet play. Good pickup, and they'll move the chains with the 1st down.
Nice job by the receiver there, running the drag route against zone coverage, finding the soft spot, making it easy on his quarterback to get the completion. He turns it upfield, and he moves the sticks.
They'll leave it with him. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here. The margin for error so small in a conference like this, and a Big Ten play, really imperative to get off to a good start.
We really focus on all offseason getting off to such a great start, right? Start fast, win our conference. Well, this is step 1, and so I think you're so tired of hitting your own colored jerseys, by the way. You're excited when you get in conference plays. You start to get some of that familiarity, some of that also that hatred that you have for these other teams. So the Big Ten is a fun conference.
Yeah, and you know both of these teams, their players have had this game circled all offseason because this is the first week.
Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and then put points on the board. You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game, get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
And he made that extra point, the wet turf, no problem at all. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So Northwestern's offense has its first opportunity of the day. And the story is going to be in this one. Will this quarterback be able to operate before that big fella on the defensive front gets right in his grill, Jesse?
And listen, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, but he better play with the clock in his head in this one. He's not going to have a lot of time. There are a lot of quarterbacks around the SEC that probably felt this way back when they played the Georgia Bulldogs and David Pollock.
Yeah, especially those real teams with Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter, but like,
Always got some space. Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs. Passing game kept the drive moving. Here's 1st down. The give on the option. Got behind those pads and picked up 3 out to the 35.
and those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle and wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard games just because the body blow effect.
Tries to surge ahead on the sneak. Bounced right back to them.
The ball security doesn't just apply to running backs and receivers. QB's got to keep 2 hands
its way. Wants to return it. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited. Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Handoff from the gun. Cross the 30 out to the 33 and gains 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd and short from their own 33. From the gun, wants to pass. Makes the grab along the sidelines, and they get enough for the 1st down.
As a head coach, you love it when your quarterback is locked in early. Opening drive, throws a touchdown pass. Really nice throw on that last play. Here in the 2nd drive, he's firing on all cylinders. You can tell this guy did his homework coming into this game, and right now it's paying off.
Caught over the middle. It's Luna. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be 1st down.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
They're going to run it. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
Man, did you see the D tackle just slice through the offensive line? That's how you get penetration. That's how you dial up and tackle footballers.
Trying play action. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. Now facing a 3rd and long. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Caught in the backfield. It's Luna. There he goes. Races down to the turn. Stop just short of the goal line as he goes out of bounds. The Huskers have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. Slams it ahead. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. They lost ground on 1st down. Now 2nd and goal from the 5. Gets the back moving. Dumps it off in the flats. Touchdown, Husker! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. And the extra point makes it 14-0.
And I think he does a really good job here. Dropping back to pass, surveying the field, sees he's got some open space out wide, dump it to your playmaker. The running back takes the football, he does the rest. Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the field, making a play.
He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. And with that stop, we are headed toward the end of the 1st quarter. We've reached the break. It's Nebraska holding the lead. They came out and jumped on them early in the 1st. Let's take a break and look at the 1st quarter stats. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with 2nd down. They'll give it to the back. And some room to work. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
They'll try the run. Oh, it gives him the tough stiff arm. Oh, he got loose. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a 1st down. You count up those explosive plays in the game, and you put a little extra star by the big run.
Yeah, this running back is a weapon, boy. He is so good in space. He's got shiftiness. He can make guys miss it. If this guy gets into the 2nd level, watch out. He can hit a home run.
The Wildcats in a good spot here with 2nd and short. It's a draw. Look out, he's got room. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a 1st down. And the Wildcats kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. He'll ride his
receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
Got a man. Finds enough room to get it up to the 44 before he's knocked out of bounds. And the Huskers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They're testing the right side here. Stopped at the 46-yard line, but give him 10 yards and the first down. The Cornhuskers are moving quickly down the field. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Fires to the middle. And it's incomplete, deflected, knocked away by the D.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eye.
Fires into traffic, and it's picked off. Taking it the other way. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
What a nice play by the DB there. When that rain starts coming down, the ball gets a little bit heavier. The quarterback throws the ball a little bit lighter. DBs can take advantage sometimes of some underthrown balls, go out and make some big plays.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. To the air, it's Conway. Just not quite able to make the connection. It's incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
The black shirts looking to this crowd, and they are... He'll off one deep down the left side. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there. Now it's fourth down. Northwestern will send out the punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. No return possible on this one. It goes out of bounds, and they'll mark it right around the 30-yard line. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Mistakes are going to happen, as they did on that last drive. Now, how will they respond, Jesse?
And this is the kind of guy who's going to take full accountability. That was my bad. That's on me. I'm about to lead this offense now down the field and score some points.
Dang, Palmer, I wish I'd have played with you. I didn't play with many quarterbacks that were just like, yeah, my bad. Hey, guys, I got this. Sorry about that. It was more, you should have ran a better route.
It's on target and complete. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with the first down.
And that was a nice throw by the QB. When you see that drag route coming across the field, how about putting the ball right on his numbers? Not high, not low, where he has to stop his momentum. Right on.
Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab. On first and 10 from the 38. Wants to go up top on first down. Got his man on the right.
This guy's done a lot of good things early this year throwing the football. With that last completion, that now takes him over 1,000 yards passing for the year.
From the gun, the ground game. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
Really, really good decision-making by the quarterback. Don't get greedy. Yes, I can make reads, and I can pull it, and I can throw it all the yard. If I can take 10-plus yards and continue to do that and continue to be smart with my decision-making, this offense is going to be very difficult to stop.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. From the gun, the running back has it. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got it. Over to the end zone. Touchdown, Cornhuskers. These guys are really hitting their stride in week 4 as they push out that lead.
Well, this offense is clicking. They've been doing it all first half, running the ball, throwing the ball. They had insult to injury with another touchdown here right before teams go into the tunnel. This defense, guys, they have got to find some answers, and they've got to regroup here at halftime.
On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner is stopped. Northwestern offense returns to the field. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be concerned. If we're a little bit down, listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here, we're going to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now. At the end of the first half, try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
Behind the chains now on second and long. Tight end now in motion. Looking to pass. It's Conway. Got it in the middle. It's small. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there. Now on third down for this offense. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Man, a lot of ways to describe those first two quarters in Lincoln, but let's just go with notable.
The Huskers will boot it away to start the second half. On the move from inside his 5. And the returner will be dragged down. Wildcats have it back. The Northwestern offense headed out. When you're facing a deficit like this one to start the second half, you really can't afford to waste a single possession.
Fresh start here in the second half. That's the only way you can look at this if you're on offense. Things did not go your way there in the first half. It starts with one play. To get our confidence going, we just got to get something going early here on this drive.
One play, stay aggressive. Now I think I can be even more aggressive on fourth downs because obviously I've built a deficit. My defense has got to make some plays for me too.
Grabbed in the middle. It's small. And just a short and safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Now, you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times, they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive, and offenses really feature their best players most time in those slot positions.
They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49. The Wildcats come to the line with a new set of downs. Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33. In search of their first touchdown of the game, they are on the move with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, they'll run it. Runs through a tackle. Miles ahead for a pickup of 1 to the 32. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Sends it back in motion. To the air. It's Conway. A shot toward the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats! They went for the big play, and boy, did it ever pay off.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in game.
Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. And after that last score, this is just a 2-possession game now, and they'll be looking to find some cushion on this drive. Caught behind the line. It's Luna. Trying to hit him with a quick game on first down, and nothing doing there.
You know, as a quarterback, you believe in your matchup. And my running back, if I can get him the ball in space, he's going to win a lot of times. He did in that time. The defense was ready. Nice job in the open.
Breaks into the open. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be first down.
You know, as a defense, you can have the right call and the right guy in the right spot. But that guy's just too good. And how about the running back on that play? Just making it happen, breaking off the huge gain. It's tough to get these guys on the ground.
Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. Here's a heat. Quarterback
job by the defense, dropping in zone coverage, all eyes on the quarterback, taking away the options, and then finally the pass rush gets home, gets him on the ground.
On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play. And the Huskers decide to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. Fair catch is called for. You want to make sure that you field it cleanly in rainy weather like this. The Northwestern offense returns to the field. They've fallen into a hole here, and they need to start fighting back right now on this drive. Bring in the heat. Nowhere to go with the line down. He goes at the 39.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity. You know the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to come up with a big play, but up front they could not protect him well enough.
Back open in the middle. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play a wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
On 3rd and long, a check down will be the last resort. Active hands from the defense forcing that incomplete pass. Northwestern will have to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. The give to the back. Found a little bit of running room, knocked down at the 24 after a pickup of 4. Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. The give to the back. This time the defense was ready, and they stop him in his tracks. Here on 3rd down for this offense. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds his big tight end. He's going to have enough to pick up the 1st down as they stop him at the 33-yard line. The Cornhuskers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up and pass pro a bit longer against this athletic front 7 on defense.
And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack.
Man, there are defensive players out there that can just take games over, and that's what's happening with this guy right now. He is not cooperating with the offensive game plan. A sack on 2 consecutive plays, and now on 3rd down, you know he's pinning his ears back again.
Fires to the big fella. And an absolutely fearless tackle. Giving up size, still got him on the turf. The Huskers will line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Return's going to get it up around midfield. He'll be down at the 49-yard line. Wildcats have it back. The Northwestern offense headed out. So first play of the drive coming here from their own 49. Didn't get anything done. 3 and out on their last series. They'll try to find a rhythm here. He'll pull it down and run. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center nowadays in football. You can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, they'll get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Time winding down in the corner as they come to the line. Looking for a man. It's Conway. Working that wide receiver screen. And they'll drag him down. That's likely the last play of the 3rd quarter. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Nebraska is on top. And they've built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters. defense out of the fourth down conversion, moving the chains easily. Offense has it at the 28 on first down. Handoff to the single back. They make the stop, give him 3 yards on the carry. Ball's at the 24. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Leaves it with the running back. And there was nowhere to go. Just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Fires to the tight end. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down.
Well, trailing like they are right now in the fourth quarter, their execution offensively is just going to have to be at a premium. You can't afford a lot of incompletions at this point. Everybody is going to need to be on the same page moving forward.
All right, if you're a quarterback in that situation, you know there's nowhere to go, so just
Cut your losses.
absolutely slide. Don't take the extra punishment. Just give up on the play.
To the air on 2nd down. Touchdown, Northwestern. You thought they were done. They're not. They're back, baby.
Really nice job working the route, getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. He'll start the return inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. That 3-touchdown lead has been cut to 7. The momentum has shifted, and now a chance to get it back on this drive.
I know exactly what I have to do here. Defensively, we've got to get the stop. So we're playing run. We're selling out to run because we're thinking they're going to run the football, and we got 3 timeouts. Let's use them wisely. Let's use those timeouts, save as much clock as we can so our offense has some time on the clock to do some damage when they get the football back.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Zings it complete to the right. They'll move those chains, getting it out to the 29-yard line and trying to get this drive rolling. Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the second half. It's 1st and 10. The give and tick, 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 tick. Couldn't find a lane. A pickup of 1 to the 31. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. To the ground with the back. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line.
These situations are preached so much in college football. Finishing a game strong, understanding circumstances. They are running the football right at you, trying to keep that clock moving, get a few first downs, and get it done.
They stop him at the 42, but they're on a roll with a pickup of 15 and a first down. And the Huskers come to the line with a new set of downs. The run to the left. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Looking to fire. Throws to the wideout. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes as a quarterback, when you have success early, you earn the right to take more shots. I think that's what you're seeing now in this game. We're here late. They're still throwing it deep because this quarterback's thrown 3 touchdown passes. He's proven to his coach that he can get it done and he can make the right decisions and not put his offense in harm's way. And that's why you're still seeing them throw it vertically downfield.
Kick is in the air. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. The Northwestern offense returns to the field. It's a 1-possession game in the 4th. Dropping back, it's Conway. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. this defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
Lost the fire on second down. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball fall to the ground.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He holds one deep down the left side. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game. Great place to start for this offense. Running back searching for a hole. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to Pater. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. From the gun, to give, looking for room. And they add 6 more to the board with a trip to the house. With that, the lead nice and comfortable, and they're cruising toward a 4-0 start.
And, you know, late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. Wildcats have it back. The Northwestern offense headed out. They were really aggressive going for it in their own end last time and put them in a tough spot, David.
Yeah, aggressive, reckless. They got to find the balance with this offense to really be productive. And last possession they went for it. They rolled the dice, Palmer, and it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, if you're better on third down moving forward, though, you can keep yourself out of those situations.
Clock is still running, and they have to get everybody lined up. Looking to throw, it's Conway. Under fire. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack.
Well, there have been way too many incompletions for this offense in this game. It's a big reason why they're trailing, obviously. They've never been able to get into a rhythm, and at this juncture here on a 2-minute situation in your own end, you got to find ways to start throwing completions somewhere out on the field to get back in this game.
They're at their fastest tempo trying to get off this third down play. They'll try to get the first through the air. Here's a throw downfield late. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's fourth down. No hesitation at all. The offense stays on the field. They'll go for it. Going for the marker on the ground. He gets it beyond the marker, and it'll be a first down for Northwestern. A fresh set of downs after that fourth down conversion, but still the up-tempo as they get to the line quickly. Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the big fella. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Back to pass on second down. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. Now on second down. Wants to go up top. Setting up the screen. Didn't have much room to run, and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there, and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. On third and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. With the catch, it's small. He is not going to get there. Stopped short of the line to gain, and it'll be fourth down. On fourth down, they're taking to the air. Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't work it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. And they are stopped on fourth down. That decision will be questioned. Got enough for the first. And he's brought down after a
defense made stops when they had to make them. So, right, there were some things they're going to need to clean up moving forward, but ultimately they were the better team today.
That will put the wrap on things from here for Dave. From inside his own 15, trying to follow his blockers. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. So the Kennesaw State Owls offense will have the football first. And David, they've got a receiver that if he is able to command some extra attention, it could really help get this offense going.
Now, and you need that playmaker out wide. That guy makes the whole thing go, right? Having a guy, if you want to play man-to-man coverage, he's going to beat you. And he's shown the ability to do that sometimes for this offense, and he's a guy that has the defense's attention.
Yeah, I don't think this guy's winning the Biletnikoff award necessarily, but you're right, David. When he's one-on-one, he should be able to win those matchups. And based on how he's played this season, this quarterback should feel really good and really confident when he throws his way.
Out across the 30, steps out of bounds at the 31-yard line as they try to put something together. Back to throw, it's Odo. Fires to the wideout. Finds his man, it's Rogers. That defense got gas, but they finally get him to the turf at the 47.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
And the Heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45. The defense coming up big there, and the sack is great, but the secondary deserves some credit too.
No doubt. When you can cover like that in the secondary and drop back in your zone and only rush a few, and you feel comfortable getting home, and they're going to get to the quarterback, that is a great feeling, and that's fun to be a defensive coordinator calling the plays.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. It's a big stride inside the 10. Stop at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a first and goal. After that big play, they're trying to pay it off right on the goal line. Around the end, it's Bennett. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater.
And a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defense.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Kennesaw State.
And I love this offense and the way they started this football game. Listen, last week be dang, okay? Forget last week. Nice job coming out, setting the tone in this ball game, putting a long drive together, and getting a touchdown.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Slips through the line. Got a little room. Just barely able to keep him from pouncing it on that one. What a nice return. This dude is absolute electricity when he gets the ball in his hands. So UTEP's offense taking the field, first chance we have to see them today. And last week, you want to talk about a guy using every tool in the bag from the running back position. David, this guy did it.
He was a monster. And I think when you turned on the tape this week, you saw it, man. So many different ways he could hurt you, and he could be a focal point of this offense. The defense, they know well and good of what happened last week. And their first objective this week, Palmer, is to stop that dude.
Yeah, they know the entire offense goes through him. All week long, they've been stressing tackling, staying in your gaps, waiting at the point of attack, getting as many hats to the football as humanly possible, because you can't shut this guy down. You can only hope to contain him, but what a challenge this defense faces today.
He gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line, and that's where they'll have it first and goal. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost, trying to defend their own end zone. They'll keep it on the ground for first and goal. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Can the D deny them on second and goal? Looking to throw, it's Locklear. Looking for the goal line. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch. Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now it's third and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. the pass is incomplete here on third down, but there is a flag. Let's check it out. They'll decline the penalty here and let the result of that play stand. 4th and goal from the 3, and the offense will stay out there and try to finish the deal. Back's got it. Touchdown, UTEP. The offense puts up 6 with that trip to the end zone. Looking for the tie with the extra point. And the point after is good. When you're handed a break with unbelievable field position like that, you better finish the deal, and they did.
You saw the quarterback jog on the field. I think he gave a high five to every one of those players coming off that just put them in position to go score that touchdown. That QB knew this was a golden opportunity, and boy, he took advantage of it.
RPO complete to open the drive. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something.
And the ball is out. Who's going to get it? It's as if that ball had a magnet going back to the offense. How in the world did they keep it? And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Scanning the field, it's Odom. Unloads to the wideout. He's got an open man. So important to convert these 3rd downs, and they get it done. They'll have it at the 42.
All right, defense, you got to turn the page. You just gave up an explosive play through the air, but here comes the offense going quickly. You got to get lined up now, get ready for another one.
Off the play fake on 1st down. Pocket breaking down. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42. Kennesaw State right back to work.
Nice job by this defense, pinning their ears back, getting to the quarterback, creating the sack. But look at this offense. They're deterred. They're right back on the ball, ready to snap it again.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the call from the sidelines, get it communicated, get lined up.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. A strike downfield. Offense on the move. A big play there. Gets it to the 30. On the run, it's Bennett. And this one will be stopped for no gain. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10.
Well, the defense didn't have a lot of time to celebrate that last big play because here's the offense right away back at the line of scrimmage, ready to roll again with tempo.
They'll give him 4 on that one. It's 3rd and 6. Tempo and overdrive. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Caught close to the marker, it's Moss. Got enough to move the sticks. 1st down from the 17. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. Catch in the middle, it's Rodgers. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. They're going to run it. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front? To the air, it's Odom. Under fire. Had to throw it before he wanted. It's incomplete, and this ought to be a boost of confidence for this defense, getting a stop against these guys on 3rd down. It's been punch, counter-punch throughout the early part of this game as we take a look at the 1st quarter stats. They'll try to get something out of this drive and kick the field goal here on 4th down. And this one splits the uprights. And with that, they've taken the lead.
Man, so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. UTEP has the ball, the offense ready to go back to work. They're still looking for a little more productivity as they trail 10-7. Wide open downfield. And he'll have enough for the first down at the 42. Big chunk play to start this drive. Now they'll really try to take it to this defense. Keeping it on the ground with the running back.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
I love defenses that can mix it up between man and zone. And I love the vision right here by the cornerback. Seeing the quarterback the whole way. Breaking on the football when that hand separates from...
Oh, out of space. The 10. Touchdown, UTEP. A great catch and run for 6.
And unbelievable timing with the quarterback and wide receiver. Get it to him in his hands, right on his frame where he can run after the catch and do some serious damage.
And that's why he's so dangerous, is because of that ability after the catch. For these DBs in this game, you've got to tackle the reception, because if you don't get him down, he's taking it to the house.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Guys, we'll get another look at this Kennesaw State offense. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. And generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical in that.
And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. And they can't make the play on third down.
You know, it's funny. That's probably the most discombobulated the offense has looked so far in this game, right? After watching that incompletion there on third down, they were just up and down the field earlier. Tremendous rhythm, tremendous balance. Everything their play caller was dialing up was working, lighting up the scoreboard. And all of a sudden, on this last drive, just not able to piece it together. They've got to be able to turn the page and get back to how they looked earlier in the game.
UTEP has the ball and the Miner offense ready to go to work. They reeled off a long touchdown drive the last time they had it. Much better field position this time around. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Hits him inside the 20, still going. They get him corralled, but not until he's in the red zone. They'll mark it at the 14.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
They'll throw it from the red zone. Oh, they're after him. Touchdown, Miners. Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was, we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get him. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Guys, we're about to see this Kennesaw State offense go back to work. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. Using his legs, it's Bennett. Tried to move that pile forward. He maybe gets 2. He's down at the 21. Kennesaw State right back to work.
A nice job being gap sound by this defense. And here you go. Watch what this offense does. They'll get right back on the ball, and they'll go really quick, so you got to be prepared.
Got it behind the line. It's Bullock. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Picked up some yardage on that completion, but still a third down. A
rips off a big play. This offense creates some momentum, and what do? They keep their foot on the gas, right back on the football to try to keep this offense rolling.
They're dealing with a second and long. Motion from the back. Back to throw. It's Odom. Floats it out in space. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. This offense looking at a third down after that last completion. They'll try to power their way ahead. And they did not let him get to that first down line. It'll bring up a call here. Kennesaw State will have to punt this one away. He makes a fair catch just outside his own 10 at the 11-yard line. UTEP has the ball, the offense ready to go back to work. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Navigates that mass of bodies and gets 4 out to the 17. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. They'll run play action. Throws to the wideout. Got his man to the left. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. This offense is like running a perfection drill in practice against air. Chunk play after chunk play, and here they come again. Nice pick up there. Gets him the first down and sets him up at the 45-yard line.
You got to be impressed by what you've seen by this offense so far in this game. In the first half, they've got a nice lead, and they've been able to do it with explosive plays, but they've also been able to do it with efficiency and getting first downs and staying on the field. And you saw another great example right there running the football. Anything they want to do right now is working.
They'll run it from the gun. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Back to pass, it's Locklear. And they're not quite in rhythm there. It's incomplete.
This QB has been so comfortable all day long. Obviously having a ton of success. You've got to affect him. You've got to put some hits on those body blows so you can make him wear out and physically feel you. This is the first time really getting to him. This defense needed this bad.
Just inside the 30 at the 29, it's 1st and 10. Looking downfield on first down. Gets it to him on the screen. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. That was just a perfectly choreographed screen. The line got out on time. The running back had a wall in front of it.
And I think the quarterback did a really good job of selling pass and then kind of dodging the pass rush, getting it to the running back, and then let him do the rest. You got him in space, he'll pick up yards in a hurry.
They'll run the option. The pitch. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion. And now on 4th down, they'll try a field goal. Not very pretty, highly effective using that carom off the left upright. And now the lead is even bigger.
How great is it to know that if you can get the ball down somewhere close to the 40-yard line on your opponent's side of the field, you're walking away with at least 3 points because this dude is automatic.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the returner will be knocked down. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. To throw, it's Odom. Got his man in the middle. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. 4 wide out set, 3 of them to the left on 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Chucked it away just as he was hit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this guy's been beat like a drum. He's been hit, sacked a bunch of times already, and another hit right here. I'm literally looking at my offensive line and be like, dude, I need some more time. You got to protect me better than this. Give me a chance to complete some passes.
Fires down downfield. Got his man on the right. The offense burns its third and final timeout of the half.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game.
Intercepted! Oh, what a play! He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
Who says defensive backs don't have hands? Nice job breaking on the football and making the catch. A lot of times you see guys swat it down or you see them trying to catch it. It looks like they have two left hands. Defensive backs don't catch real well. Nice job breaking on the football. Nice job securing the INT and actually catching it.
Holding. Offense.
We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Snap in the shotgun. Looking to the big tight end. Intercepted.
Boy, that might be the break this defense needed right before the half. You're down. You need to make a play. They can't score any more points. This one could get out of hand now. You have set your offense up right before the half to maybe close this gap.
Here comes the heat. And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. To the line quickly. They'll spike it to save some time. Now facing a third and long from the 50-yard line. Looking to throw. It's Odom. Rushes on him. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. On fourth down, looking for the completion. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. He's got it on the outside. They get him stopped at the 2, but it'll be first and goal. He'll put total leather and get this second half started. On the run from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. UTEP has the ball, and the Miner offense ready to go to work. They got plenty done through the air in the first half, and we'll see if they even need to look for balance as we start the third quarter.
Well, and
There he goes. The 30. Running inside the 20. Touchdown, UTEP. Once he got a step, it was all over right to the house. They've got the lead and trying to put this one in a hammerlock here in week 10.
Well, we know this offense can score points in a variety of ways. You saw it in the first half, and here we go in the second half. They're explosive. They've got playmakers all over the field, and they waste no time putting up another touchdown.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Guys, we'll get another look at this Kennesaw State offense. They're looking at a 21-point hole. There's still time to do some work, but there's also no time to waste. Hand off from the shotgun. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27. Kennesaw State right back to work.
And that wasn't a big game, but look at the offense. Right back on the ball, ready to call a play, ready to go fast.
Oh, he wants it all. Pulls it in down the sideline. Found a bunch of room and got it to the 44-yard line.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
It's incomplete. I tell you, this sophomore quarterback's lucky to get that one back.
They say pressure bust pipes. This quarterback can attest to that. Goodness gracious, they're getting after him all day. There's a reason they're behind. Pressure the quarterback goes a long way to getting the W.
The play action fake. It just left that pass short. Not enough juice on that one.
And as an offense, man, the last place you want to be is 3rd and long. And I think he's just got to put a little bit more mustard on that football. It comes up short, got to step into it, throw that maybe a little bit harder. But this offense now in a difficult 3rd and long situation.
Well, they're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to get the first down.
Kennesaw State will have to punt this one away. The punt goes out of bounds, and a nice job to get them backed up. I think they'll spot it right around the 15. UTEP has the ball, the offense ready to go back to work. Then that last drive, if you want to call it that, was efficient. One big run for a score, David. See if they can do it again.
Yeah, and I find it hard-pressed they're not going to give it right back to him. You break that long of a run, get a touchdown, Jesse, I'm assuming he's going to touch it again.
You're absolutely right, David. Everybody in this stadium, I think, is expecting him to get it again, too. Big-time players make big plays in big games. Let's see what he can do here.
Here's the pressure. And the defense got him at the 27.
When it's a play-action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm. Ball's at the 27. This offense facing a 3rd and long. Might be calling a hot route. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down. The Miners will call on their punt team. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. They'll get down and put a stop to this return. They'll mark it at the 32. Guys, we're about to see this Kennesaw State offense go back to work. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. Don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense.
So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. Second down coming up. Back to throw, it's Odom. Fires to the wideout. Catch in the middle, it's Rogers. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
And I don't know if this defense knows what just hit them because they gave up the completion, they gave up a first down, and now here's the offense back up at the line of scrimmage again, going tempo.
Unloads to the wideout. Got him downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down.
The offense thought they had a good look to run that play into with the QB, but there's just an example of a defender winning his one-on-one battle and making a tremendous play. Great effort by them.
And with that pass right there, over 300 yards. That's a good day at the office. Being able to execute, doing a good job seeing what's coming, anticipating, taking some shots today, but he's holding really strong, put up some good numbers.
He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line.
I think if you're the coaching staff, you have to like what you've seen from this guy so far in the game. He's pumped out some really nice runs. Obviously, he's already scored a touchdown. Really nice run there as well. And for me, I would keep thinking about creative ways of getting this guy the ball as the game goes on here in the second half.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. And we talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counterpunch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far, not a lot of success.
And the Heat gets there, and they get him down at the 14-yard line.
This quarterback is thinking to himself, I need to get an NIL deal at some restaurant so I can take my offensive line out and feed them more, because I don't think they like me very much right now. I've been sacked 6 times in this game. It's time to get that new NIL deal paycheck.
And here comes the field goal unit for the second time tonight. Absolutely center cut.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
After that last field goal drive, they're set to kick it away. Here's the return from inside his 10. He only needs a sliver of daylight. This guy makes you hold your breath when he gets the football in his hands, and that last line of the coverage team, the only thing that stopped him from housing it. They go to the ground. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Dropping back, it's Rotlier. Quickly complete. Steered out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. A big pickup, and they are threatening. From inside the 40 at the 37, it's first down. Looking to throw on first down. Safe completion on the screen.
Love the execution there on the screen. The running back shows pass protect, pass protect. Last second turns around, so he's able to get the ball. The D linemen have already run past him. Now he can turn upfield for a big gainer.
Caught near the sticks. It's Wilson. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. And the Miners are flying down the field. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Fires to the wideout. Beautifully thrown ball. Terrific catch, and they'll have the first down.
To be honest, I think the quarterback was a little bit surprised himself at the play call that came in that time. You've got a 3-possession lead here in the third quarter of this game. You're probably expecting some short throws, some runs. And this play caller is still asking for shot plays. And listen, you're the quarterback. You're happy to oblige. When you've got the playmakers you have offensively, just keep chucking them.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. On 2nd and goal, he carries again. Touchdown, UTEP! And the stomping has commenced. Precision blocking up front created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Plenty of time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Off play action on first down. Makes the catch. It's Rodgers. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this third period. We've come to the break, and it's UTEP holding the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. Just about ready to go in the fourth, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. receiver. Off the play fake. Throwing right. With the catch, it's Moss. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44.
Now, I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in
Breaks into the open. He gets it inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and they are rolling.
Yeah, and you got to love those matchups. When you get a running back matched up on somebody else, it's never going to be a cornerback. That's not going to happen. So finding a good matchup, getting that speed isolated, now I'm going to go attack and make some plays.
Here's a heat. They wrap him up. He tried to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he's stopped in the backfield.
Now, when I got a stud quarterback like they do, I'm going to protect him. I'm going to make sure that I keep him upright because he can do some serious damage. But this defense applying pressure and applying the hammer in this football game.
Makes the grab on the left. Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. Kennesaw State hopes to be wise here in the red zone. Here comes the option. And maybe a wise move not to even try the pitch as he's knocked down in the backfield.
Yeah, and this offense, man, they just continue to struggle. And just, they need to find something that they do really, really well. And running the football late in the fourth quarter when you're getting beat by a good bit, that's probably not it. This offense needs to hit the gas, and they need to pitch and catch a little bit, throw the football around.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
He'll keep it himself. He can't find enough room. Stopped at the 17, and it brings up a fourth down. Quarterback stands alone, all wide receivers. On fourth down, they'll pass for it. Converts on fourth down, still going. Perfectly thrown ball, nice catch, good tackle, but it's first and goal from the 5. New center downs right on the doorstep for this offense. Looking for a man. It's Odom. Not quite in rhythm there. Incomplete.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback in this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Yeah, and a great job by the defense, holding the line of scrimmage, playing downhill, playing responsibility football, making sure they shut down that option play.
Wants to throw for it on third and goal. Bringing the heat. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop.
What a third down stop by this defense. Third down and goal, no problem. You know that guy. Every time he touches the football, you hold your breath because he's so dynamic at the quarterback spot. They were ready, and they forced the fourth and goal.
It's incomplete, and the defense comes up with a stop.
Tell you what, it gets late in the football game, man. I got to start being aggressive. When I'm in a hole and the clock's running out, like, it's going to make me have to throw the football, be more aggressive, and this offense doesn't come through for their team, and now they're going to really need their defense to get some stops here in this football game in the fourth quarter.
Pushes his way for a couple and gets it to the 7-yard line. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. They'll try to keep this clock moving on the ground. Turning it on! How about that effort to get it out across the 20? They'll mark it at the 21. It's a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. much on it from this big-arm sophomore quarterback.
And I'm just not sure where to put the blame. And I know they're going to lose this football game. They've struggled, and he's been sacked. I know he's turned it over and thrown an interception, but they haven't been in sync, and nobody's played really great, and they've got to find an identity on this offense moving forward.
Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down.
Well, it's a good time to mix in the run play. You're down, it's late in the fourth quarter right now, and everyone's expecting you to throw, so not a lot of defenders in the box. That's a great situation to try to run the ball.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Going to work on second down in the red zone. Is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Wants to throw. It's Odom. He's got it. And they will score. You don't give a hoot. Kennesaw State does. Touchdown, Owls. The coach wants the officials to have another look at the monitor. Using a timeout here. Thinks the call is going to end up going his way. This coach wanted to be absolutely certain on a challenge. He was right. The previous play will be overturned. Kennesaw State has a chance now on first and goal. They'll try to run it in. Touchdown, Owls! Excellent pass by the back on the option.
And the running back gets his second rushing touchdown of the game. You want to continue to feed this guy. You could tell he's got a nose for the end zone, knows how to get in there, knows how to make things happen.
And the extra point is good. The deficit is huge. This one is all but over, but they'll keep trying and line up for the onside kick. Cool as a cucumber as the hands team makes a sure catch. UTEP has the ball and the Miner offense ready to go to work. Their defense came up with a big stop now to see if they can turn it into points. Leaves it with the back. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
On the ground, it's Thomas. And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup.
And you can feel the momentum a little bit, right? I mean, the fourth quarter has kind of changed, and this defense is settled in. Their offense has scored as well. So this is a big tipping point in this football game. This is a big possession because Uncle Mo is all on the side of the defense.
And they'll send the field goal team back out for the second time tonight. And he missed it. No good. And after the miss, fellas, still sitting on an 18-point lead. They'll start this drive at the 33-yard line.
And sometimes I just feel like fourth down, man, just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss, make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
Back to pass, it's Odom. Shoots it to the left. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play. Now facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. Down by multiple possessions. They can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on fourth down. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in. Desperately wanted to keep the ball, but they did not. Power football with the run.
And this defense and their team, honestly, has just built some momentum here in this fourth quarter, man. And I'm interested to see this offense and if they can respond, if they can be physical, if they can run the football, they can make some plays here in this fourth quarter.
And here's the third interception of the night. He goes out of bounds, but he creates the turnover and a great opportunity for his offense. They'll start this drive with a pass. Pulls it in. It's Rogers. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on second and 2. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. couple. They'll immediately call timeout.
Man, what a game.
Now, we'll hang on here. The coach has called a timeout. He wants the officials to take another look. Thinks he's got a good shot at getting this one overturned. The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied, and the timeout is gone. You got to think they'll try to muscle their way forward on 3rd and short from the 29. Grabbed over the middle. It's Rodgers. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. The offense will quickly use a timeout. Dropping back, it's Odom. Unleashes one. Got it in the middle, it's Bennett. Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go?
42 Spider. 4-2 Spider.
Looking to fire. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing.
And this is always the time in the game where coaches are absolutely watching. Like, which one of my guys mail it in and quit? And if you're the quarterback, man, you've been sacked a few times, you've turned the football over. Like, continue to play, find some ways to maybe get a few first downs and make something positive happen.
3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Oh, and he got drilled as he just got rid of the football.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now if you're the play caller, and certainly if you're the quarterback, that you're going to have time to throw.
Didn't make the catch, and the defense will force the turnover on downs.
Well, it's been that kind of day for the offense, and this quarterback specifically, they've had their chances. They've had opportunities. Throughout the course of the game to get some pitches and catches and make some explosive plays. Just not able, though, to hook up. And you saw it on that 4th down play right there. They're trailing by a lot of points because those are the throws you've got to make if you're going to win games like this. And they